Good morning. Good morning. Hope everyone is well today. We're excited about today's training. We've got a good group signing on, so I'm going to give it just a minute for everybody to get in and get settled. Go ahead and grab a water, cup of coffee, and we will get rolling here in just a second. All right, we're right at 11 o'clock Central Time. So I know we've got 3 different time zones being spanned for this one training, and I'm excited to have each and every one of you here. Look forward to getting us started here in about 2 minutes. All right, looks like all of our settings are set. Looks like all the people who have signed up are here. So let's get started. Before we go into the content and the detail, I want to give you a couple of just kind of rules of engagement for today. We've got quite a few people on this webinar because I am easily distracted. I have you set up where you are muted and unable to see each other. But trust me, I see you, and I'm thankful that you're here. We're going to utilize the Q&A button in order to ask questions and to interact together. And we've got a couple of strategic spots where we're going to pause and make sure that we've answered all your questions before we move forward. So this is the Homeward Certified Agent Training. And then at the end of this kind of 1 hour period is what I anticipate, maybe a little bit less, we will have given you all the information you need to be considered a Homeward Certified Agent. That comes with some benefits that you're going to receive some emails and content and follow on beyond this. But really the hope and the goal for today is to give you a deep enough understanding in what it is that we do here at Homeward to help you begin to engage in your business with us. Before we go, I have a curious question. I'm a curious guy, so I'm always thinking about things. I've been a market data guy, kind of a numbers nerd for a long time. I've been selling real estate here in Austin for going on 25 years, and I'm fascinated by what's going on in the market. So if you guys wouldn't mind, in the chat, I'm going to ask one favor in the chat. If you could list the market you're in and what percentage of the time are you finding yourself in a multiple offer situation? So really 2 questions, 1 line in the chat, your market, the percentage of time you're finding yourself in multiple offers. I'd love to know and hear from you guys. On front lines, I'm seeing market data, and it looks like we've got some pretty darn tight inventory in all 6 of our markets that we're working in. But would love to hear from you guys what you're experiencing on the front line. Atlanta 95%, 90, 40 in suburbs, 98 multiple offer, 100% of the time. Yep. San Antonio 90%, 80%, Dallas Fort Worth often multiple, 105% of the time. I love that. Yep, this is I would say I have my pastor is from South Africa, and when he says bananas, he says bananas. And so what's going on in the market is bananas. according to my friend Ross. So let's get a tick off. I think Homeward is an offering and a solution that might be helpful in the market that we find ourselves in. So excited to get you going. What we do here at Homeward is we utilize our cash to help you purchase a home for your clients. So we enable you to do more for less, do more for your clients without making less. So we enable and support an opportunity for you to help clients buy a home that might otherwise not be able to buy, specifically in the market that we're in. So you're going to be able to turn your shoppers into pure cash buyers with our resources. Whether they have a home to sell or not, we're able to help them. So my name is Blake Outlaw. I serve as the Director of Agent Experience here at Homeward. I get the opportunity, the honor to be able to share something that had an impact on me and my business, and really love what we're doing here. I do think that what we've created here is special because it's built by agents for agents and really designed to be a customer enablement and agent enablement opportunity. So my hope is to give you a deep enough understanding that when we leave this call, that you'll know how to engage with us and what next steps to begin to start making more money, serving more people, and having a whole heck of a lot more fun doing it. My background, my story, having sold real estate for a number of years, I help people buy and sell their first homes. Eric and Michelle are an example of this. Eric and Michelle are my introduction to Homeward, actually. I helped them buy a home about 6 or 7 years ago. They're expecting their third child now, but at the point that they had 2 kids, they'd outgrown their 972 square foot home in a neighborhood in fairly central Austin. They wanted to move to another neighborhood close to all their friends from church. They had outgrown the old home. It was time to buy a new home. So we staged the old home. We got photos ready. We got a flyer, sign, lockbox, the whole bit ready to go active and available in the MLS the moment that we got a new home under contract. So we started shopping for a home. We found a home. We made an offer. The offer was dismissed because it was contingent upon the sale of a home not even on the market. We then made another offer, and this was in early 2019. So the market wasn't nearly as bananas as it is today, but it was crazy back then as well in the neighborhood they were looking in. So we made another offer. We were one of 7, didn't get it. One of 10, didn't get it. 4 or 5 offers in. Eric and Michelle are pretty frustrated with the process. They run into a friend of theirs who shared the vision of what Homeward is, what Homeward does with them. It was actually a past client of Homeward's, and Eric and Michelle locked into this and said, I think this might be the solution. So they called me. I did some research. I made the CEO of Homeward take me to lunch and share with me how this works. Fell in love with it. Got Eric and Michelle approved because I saw that this was an opportunity for them to upgrade from being a contingent buyer to being a cash buyer, from being a non-contender to the best buyer in the marketplace. So we got them approved. About a week later, this home hit the market. Hands down, the best thing they'd seen. It was exactly the size. It was completely updated. It was priced right where it needed to be priced. We knew this was it. We made an offer. The very next morning, the listing agent called me and she said, hey, Blake, we've got 7 offers and yours is the 3rd highest, which I assumed was the preamble to what I'd heard 4 or 5 times before with Eric and Michelle, which was, and we went with the other offer. But to my surprise and to Eric and Michelle's benefit, she shared with me that the sellers went with our offer. Even though it wasn't the highest, it was the best. And the reason it was the best because it was pure cash. It had a quick close. It was backed by and for the benefit of an owner occupant who was emotionally attached to the home. So they felt like there was 0 chance this wasn't going to get to the finish line for them. They also recognized that it was cash and that was going to make it just a super simple transaction for them as a seller. So we got a good deal on this home. Eric and Michelle got to move in. Homeward closed 14 days, actually 21 days later in this case. Eric and Michelle moved in. They then listed and sold their existing home with me. It sold in a weekend for over list price, just like we thought it would. They were then able to finalize the transaction and take ownership of their dream home. So in about a 40-day window, 45-day window from the day this home hit the market, they own it because of Homeward. There was no chance that we would have been able to buy this home had it not been for the Homeward pure cash offer. So this unlocked my eyes to the potential that this has. I've helped a lot of people buy and sell homes over the years, and it's always been this chicken and egg. Do you list and rush to buy something? Do you buy something and then run the risk of owning 2 homes or missing it because the contingency doesn't line up? There's all these things going on that we've just figured out how to navigate over the years, but now there's a better way. So I left the closing table. I began to market this to my database. I shared the vision of Homeward with my past clients, my sphere of influence, and made a few phone calls. Next thing you know, I have a whole bunch of new clients who are fit for Homeward that I was able to generate utilizing just a simple marketing program to get more clients. So I became a raving fan of what Homeward offers, so much so that I convinced them to let me come work here. And I get to do this all day, every day. And I love what I get to do. And that's to educate, inform agents to go be better in their business. You guys are already great. You don't need me to make you better, but I hope that this offering and this solution is something that you can begin to use and trust and lean into. We have agents that are doing a transaction a month with us these days, and they found that we're really helping fuel the growth of their business. So what's the agenda for today? We're going to talk about the Homeward services. What does Homeward offer? The buy before you sell solution and the buy with cash. I'm going to cover both of those. So there's two solutions, two offerings here at Homeward: buy before you sell, buy with cash. In both cases, we're purchasing a home with our cash. Whether your clients have a home to sell or not is going to dictate which of the two different routes they go. We're going to talk about the Homeward pricing. What is this going to cost your clients? What is it going to cost you? I'm going to answer that question right now. This costs you nothing. This training was free. We don't charge any commissions, referral fees. We don't do anything that's going to take any money out of your pocket. You work really hard for your money. We know that because we're realtors. We built this solution for you. So this is free for you guys, but we're going to talk about what this costs the customer. And then we're going to land the plane today with giving you the next steps of what it looks like to work with Homeward. And this is really going to give you some details in the whole process and how to begin getting a client started today. So for today's purposes, in order for us to engage and communicate with each other really well, I have set up a Q&A tab on this webinar. There is an opportunity for you to click that, open it up. It creates a window for you that you can drop your questions in. I'm going to promise to answer all the questions in the Q&A at the end of our call. Between now and then, though, as you post your questions, other people will have questions, and it's going to spark more ideas and thoughts. If you put your question in just the chat, only I see it, and no one else gets to benefit from your great question. So let's use the Q&A from here forward, and let's get started. So common scenarios that we find ourselves in as a solution are clients who need to secure a home before they sell. Like I've described with Eric and Michelle's situation, there's also places and spaces where a seller, maybe it's a new builder, maybe it's a resale home, the seller doesn't want to take a contingency. They don't want a financing contingency. They don't want a home sale contingency. So we eliminate contingencies from the contract. Excuse me. And maybe you need a quick close. One of my clients was moving from South Austin to North Austin, and he was starting a new job, and his kids are going to be starting in a new school. This all came to him in July, and he knew he needed to move quickly. So we were able to go secure his new home. He moved into it, started the new job, got the kids in the right schools, then listed and sold his existing home. So it's a great relocation option, and one that we can work with your clients, even if they're moving across state, from state to state or city to city. As long as they're buying in one of our markets, we can help them, which is Texas, Colorado, and Georgia. The Homeward Pure Cash offer has no home sale contingency, no financing contingency, and no appraisal contingency. There are some caveats around the appraisal, but we're going to talk about how we navigate that here in just a bit. The benefits to your client, they're going to win in a really competitive market. You know, when a client can go from being a financed or home sale contingent buyer to a cash buyer, they're more likely to win. We find 3 times more likely for an all cash offer to be accepted over a financed offer. The clients get to move on their terms, their timelines. We have clients that come to us who are, maybe they have some health impairments and they don't feel comfortable listing their home and having strangers come through their home today. So they can go buy and move into their new home utilizing our funds and then list and sell their home when it's safe. So this is a great opportunity to help people make a move. And there's lots of use cases here, but they get to move on their terms and their timeline. They get to know, and I think this is the best part, they get to work with the agent that they know and trust, which is you. So they can work with you as the agent. We're just a resource and a support vehicle to help you get from point A to point B. For you as an agent, when you leverage what we do, you get to generate more leads. You could convert those leads. There are a lot of people that are sitting on the fence. In fact, there are a lot of people that want to move today. When I talk to people in Austin, like, gosh, my home has probably gone up in value. I would love to sell and realize that value to go buy another home, but where am I going to move? Well, we help them go find that home to move so that they're then inclined to list and sell their existing home with you. And you're more likely to win offers. So you're gonna increase your dollar per hour because you're not going to be showing homes to people who don't really have a fighting chance in this market of getting a home secured. So again, our 2 services that we offer: buy before you sell. This is where we started. This was the beginning of Homeward, and really the genesis of our solution was helping eliminate home sale contingencies. Well, about 75 trainings in, I Hadn't done a single training where somebody didn't ask the question, hey, Blake, can we use your funds to go buy a home for someone who doesn't have a home to sell? So we could be a competitive cash buyer. Well, up until now, the answer has been no. But now we've rolled out our buy with cash solution. So we now have the ability to help you buy before you sell or buy with cash. So what is the Homeward Way? I want to walk you through the process because I think this is a helpful piece of the puzzle to understand how we do what we do. We're going to talk a little bit about pricing and how each of these steps works. But basically, your client's going to make an application with us. That application takes about 20 minutes to fill out, takes us about 2 days to get you an answer, but we're going to get you approved right away. Once you're approved with Homeward, or your clients are approved, you can take them out, show them homes, and we can make a Homeward pure cash offer. We make that offer. The more than likely the offer is accepted. Once the offer is accepted, we close on the home and your clients move right in. So Homeward closes, your clients move in. Step 5 is optional. If they have a home to sell, this is when they're going to go list and sell their existing home. Once that home is sold, or once they finalize their mortgage, they're able to get to step 6, which is your client takes ownership of their dream home. They've cleared all the things that would be hurdles to them owning the new home, and then they can close at that time. So what does this cost? I want to cover pricing up front, and I'm going to cover pricing for both the buy before you sell and the buy with cash program. There's 2 different prices. And so this is going to be a lot of numbers coming your way, but know that our team is always here to help. And there's some resources on our website that can point you to very accurate information. So we have a convenience fee and we have rent. In both buy before you sell and buy with cash, this is the case. The rent is basically our cost of owning the home passed through to your clients while we own the home. So our carrying cost, taxes, insurance, that gets passed through to your clients. On a buy with cash, the rental period is usually 5 to 10 days. On a buy before you sell, it's up to 6 months. So we're going to buy a home for your clients. They've got to buy it back from us within 6 months. Usually it's about a 40-day period between when we buy a home and when they buy it back on buy before you sell, and it's about 10 days on buy with cash. The convenience fee. This is our charge for services. This is what we do to make money, is the convenience fee. In Georgia, our convenience fee is 2.4%, and we're fighting really hard to get that dropped down to the 1.9%. In Texas and Colorado, it's a 1.9% convenience fee. That convenience fee is reduced down to 1.4% when your clients utilize Homeward Mortgage. So this is on buy before you sell. So we're going to buy a home for your clients. They're going to buy it back from us. Let's say we buy a $500,000 home. They're going to buy it back for $507,000 because of the 1.4% convenience fee. So they get rolled into the purchase price when they buy back from us. And that's it. And that's when they use Homeward Mortgage. Now, quick note on Homeward Mortgage. Homeward Mortgage was started by us. We also have Homeward Title. We work with an integrated service approach in order to deliver a great experience. But really the reason that we created Homeward Mortgage was specifically because we're trying to drive as much cost out of the process as possible. And so with Homeward Mortgage, we can offer the lower convenience fee in all of our markets of 1.4% on buy before you sell. With buy with cash, the rent component is still the same. It's just a compressed time frame on the rent, but the convenience fee is different because we're turning these around so much faster. We have a guarantee that we can get these done in under 30 days because of the way that we structure and do our mortgages. We're able to do this, offer this solution for free. So the net convenience fee when you use Homeward Mortgage is 0. So we still write the contracts with the 1.9%, but when your clients close on a home utilizing Homeward Mortgage on the buy with cash program, it gets reduced down to 0. Homeward Mortgage also, because this is the question people ask, well, gosh, then your mortgage rates must be out of line in order for you to still make money and do this. No, we actually have a price match guarantee at Homeward Mortgage. So we're going to meet or beat any conventional conforming mortgage rate that you find in the marketplace on both buy with cash and buy before you sell. So we're always going to be the best deal on the mortgage. And when they utilize our mortgage company, they're going to get the best deal on the house because they're going to be able to reduce that convenience fee. So what I want to do now, you have a basic overview of what we do from beginning to end. You have a basic overview of pricing. Now I want to take a deeper dive into each of the 6 steps to share with you what you need to know in order to set proper expectations and just understand the process. First step, it always starts with a conversation, right? This is maybe at an open house, maybe it's a referral you're following up with, maybe it's somebody that's called off of one of your listings. You have a prospective person that you're having a conversation with, and you're explaining to them in that conversation 2 things. One, what it is that you do. You're also asking them questions about what they're looking to accomplish. So if a client's looking to buy before they sell, or they're looking to buy with cash. If they're looking to purchase a home, at this point, you can introduce them to your partner in business, Homeward. The way that you introduce them is through this one pager. We have both a buy with cash and a buy before you sell one pager that you're going to get as a follow-up to this webinar. But you can introduce and have a conversation with a client, sets them off with the right expectations, gets them off on the right foot. In this conversation, you're presenting all the value proposition of what you do for them. This is one of those things. It increases the value. And I can tell you, when I go to a listing appointment and I explain to the seller who's nervous about where they're going to move and how to time all that, I can say, look, let's just go buy the new home. I have a solution, a buy before you sell solution. I'm a Homeward certified agent. I can help you go secure the new home before you sell the existing home. That takes all the stress off of their process. So we've reduced that stress. You can now be seen as the value add realtor who brings more to the table than anybody else. So present this. Maybe it's in a phone conversation, maybe it's a listing appointment, maybe it's over a Zoom call, but you can present the concept to them. Once the wheels start turning, they realize that this actually does solve their biggest problem. You're now ready for the next step, which is to get your client started with us. So you go to our website. We're in the process of relaunching our website, where you can go to the Get Started button. You're going to click on Get Started. It's going to take you to a place where you can generate a personalized quote for your clients. You can fill out their basic information, your basic information, and you can share with them information about what this program costs. This quote sharing is the way to give your clients a full understanding of who we are, what we do, what it costs them, and it gives them a cost breakdown specific to their scenario. You share that with them. And when you've shared that with them, what you've done is you've just given us their information, which we hold and guard very seriously. You've also introduced your client to the concept. At this point, they have an email in their inbox. And this is the starting point for them from us that explains how we do what we do, who we are, and what it's going to cost them. At this point, we encourage them in the email to go ahead and start the application. They start the application. We're going to call you right away. We're going to make sure that we have all your questions answered, that we understand the scenario before we call the client. Once we've connected with the realtor, then we connect with the client. The client starts the application. And when they do that, they're able to hear from our team. Our team, the customer advisor team, is specifically here to get your clients approved. They're there to help gather all the information. They're kind of the front runner to the mortgage team because they're gathering all the information in order to compile a file that we can grant an approval on. They're also really, really good at answering questions. They're there to help make sure that your clients are comfortable and confident before they move forward. They're there to help you and me as the agent understand what we need to understand to get this client to the starting line. We have a buy box here at Homeward. What this means is we have homes that we buy if they fit within the buy box. It's pretty darn broad. It's from 200,000 up to 3 million. We don't buy mobile homes. We don't buy farms and ranches. And the home that we're buying must be habitable. So that probably covers 95, 99% of the customers you work with. And we're excited to work with each and every one of them. Your clients now have an application that they've clicked through and they've started. This application is really set to answer two questions. Is the client's current home going to sell if they have one? And are they going to be able to obtain a mortgage? If we can answer both of those questions to the yes, then we have a client who can be approved with Homeward. The reason we ask these questions and the reason we need to know these things before we get started is because the last thing that we want to have happen, definitely the last thing you want to have happen, and absolutely the last thing, excuse me, your clients want to have happen is that we would buy a home for them and they ultimately couldn't take ownership of it. Because they're going, you think about it, we're going to buy a home. They're going to move in. They're going to begin to grow roots. They're going to have their housewarming party. They're going to love this home as their own. The tragic thing would be if they couldn't take ownership at the end. And so we want to mitigate that risk completely through an application process. So we do this application. It can be done in one sitting. It takes about 20 to 30 minutes. Your clients give us their information for us to give them approval. We keep you informed along the way. And at this point, for the first question, is their current home going to sell? Well, I think we all know that in this market, most homes sell, and they sell like in a matter of minutes, not hours or days or months. So we feel pretty confident that the home's likely to sell just because of the market factors, but we need to know how much it's going to sell for. We do this for two reasons. One, we're going to need to know how much equity they have because that counts towards what they're going to be able to utilize for their down payment. We're also going to look at the value in order to establish what the floor price is going to be. Now, floor price is something that we have in play here at Homeward, and think of it like an insurance policy. We're going to buy a home. At the end of 6 months, if their current home hasn't sold, we're going to step in and buy it at a pre-negotiated discount. Now, 1 in 1,000 homes do we actually end up buying and on the resale side. And the reason is because you're going to list and sell it in the market, you're going to get top dollar. The reason we have this floor price there is because we want to make sure and absolutely guarantee that there's nothing that's going to unravel this transaction after we've gotten the clients moved into the new home. So we guarantee the sale, it's set, it's in place. Again, they don't take that price until the end of 6 months, but it's there as that backstop, that insurance policy. It's that prepare for the best, or no, expect the best, prepare for the worst. This is the worst case scenario, and it's set in writing up front for your clients. So we've got the old home guaranteed, and we feel confident it's going to sell. Next step is to do the mortgage underwriting. The mortgage underwriting is done by our mortgage team. We're going to do a soft pull on their credit. At this point, they haven't committed to us as a lender, so we don't do anything that would have a detrimental effect on their credit. They also will give us information on their income, their assets, their debts. They're going to give us asset statements. They're going to give us pay stubs, just like a mortgage loan application would normally happen. So once they have all the information, they've given us all the information, we then are able to grant them the approval. And so we've answered the two questions. Are they able to sell their existing home, and are they able to get a mortgage? So our approval process generally takes 24 to 48 hours. We're running about 48 hours right now because the market is so busy. So while this slide does say 24 hours, we're guaranteeing a 48-hour approval. So what does that mean for you guys? You absolutely, if you have a client who's a fit, need to get them started and through an application so we can grant them that approval. The approvals last for a long period of time. So there's no cost. It's best to get your clients approved before you show them houses, because inevitably what's going to happen, they're going to find the dream home. It's going to pop up in MLS. They're going to have to move quickly. And if they're not approved with us, we can't make an offer, unfortunately. So get them approved often and early, and we will be able to take great care of them. So now they're approved. The primary point of contact for the rest of the Homeward journey is your customer experience manager. Your customer experience manager is there to help you write the offers. They're there to help you sign the contracts. They're there to get you on your way. Our customer experience managers are phenomenal at what they do. Katie, in fact, she sold, I think it was 140 homes in her last year as an agent before joining us. So they have tons of experience, and they're here to help you help your clients secure their dream home. So I have these three boys. I have a 15-year-old, a 13-year-old, and a 10-year-old. My 10-year-old loves electronics. So anytime we go to Best Buy, this guy always wants to know on the way in the door, hey, Dad, is this a shopping trip or is this a buying trip? If it's a shopping trip, my credit card stays in my pocket. We're going to look at everything. We're going to take forever. We're going to walk out empty-handed. So from a pragmatist perspective, it might come across as a waste of time. We love doing it. We do it often. We're going to keep doing it. It's a lot of fun. It's our thing, right? But when it's a buying trip, and I say, hey, Brooks, this is a buying trip, that dude's off like a shot. Rather than taking hours in the store, he takes 13 and a half seconds. We've got our items off the shelf. We're at the checkout stand. We're out the door, and he has this new item. Realtors time and again have told us at Homeward that when your clients go from not being Homeward approved to being Homeward approved, they move forward quickly. They have our cash burning a proverbial hole in their pocket. So you want to be at the ready. So this is almost an expectation for you. When you get that Homeward approval, they're going to want to buy quickly, but also they're going to buy with confidence. So when they have our cash, they move quickly. So get them Homeward approved and go make your life easier. Reduce the hours that it takes to get someone through the process, because we can front end load the process with an approval that they can then walk into and buy a home. I don't know how many times on a Saturday I've shown homes to clients, taking time away from my family to go show homes to someone who really can't buy. And what happens? Inevitably, they fall in love with their dream home. They can't buy it because they haven't sold their existing home. They're nowhere near ready to sell it. So they miss out on that home and nothing ever compares. So don't do that. Don't spend that time. Get them Homeward approved. Show them that dream home, even if they're not ready to sell their existing home, or if they're not mortgage approved, or they're not ready to make a cash offer on their own. Upgrade them to our cash offer. Go secure that dream home. So you found the new home. The process from here is that you're going to request an offer. So you're going to have your own dedicated link. You're going to have your own dedicated customer experience manager. You reach out to them. You request the offer. We approve the offer. Usually within an hour, 2 hours, we can turn around offer approval. We write the offer. We have templates and a form that we use to help you work with your standard, whether it's DocuSign or Zip forms or whatever you use. You're able to utilize your software to generate an offer that we sign, and then you're able to present that to the seller. So the way the Homeward process works, and this is both for buy before you sell and buy with cash, is that there's two closings and there's two contracts. The Smith family, for today's purposes, are your clients. The Smith family wants to buy a home from the Joneses. The Joneses are selling a $500,000 home. The Smith family is $500,000 Homeward approved. They want to make this happen. We're involved. You're going to call your customer experience manager, and we're going to write what's called a Homeward purchase contract. This Homeward purchase contract is a contract between the Joneses and Homeward. Once we've secured that home in a contract, we're going to turn around and almost immediately sign a contract between the Smith family, your clients, and us to buy the new home back from us. That's called the client purchase contract. So both buy before you sell and buy with cash, there's two contracts. They both get written, and I'm going to walk you through what's in both of those contracts here in a minute. Before I do that, I want to talk about appraisals. This is an interesting time that we're in real estate, and appraisals are and will continue to be for the foreseeable future a bit of a bump in the road. We're a cash buyer. We do not need an appraisal. There's no reason for us to get an appraisal whatsoever because we can buy whatever we want, whenever we want, however we want. I sound like a 3-year-old, but that is what we do. We are able to use our cash to go buy houses. So we don't need an appraisal. However, I recognize the tension that you feel. I recognize the tension because I'm in the throes of it myself as an agent. When we have a client who's buying a home and we've got this super aggressive, pure cash, like really strong offer, we present that really strong, pure cash offer and it gets accepted. But wait, if it doesn't appraise, we may have a problem. So we handle appraisals using a 5-day option period. The 5-day option or contingency period or inspection period, due diligence, whatever your state calls it. We use that period of time to do the appraisal. So we have a 5-day, actually we've just reduced it down to a 5-day appraisal turn time at Homeward Mortgage. So we can get out a 5-day turnaround on an appraisal and we can help your clients secure the dream home. While they're doing their inspections, we're simultaneously running that appraisal. We get that appraisal back. We can then deal with that during the option due diligence period of the contract, the inspection period. So we make the offer, 3 times more likely to be accepted than a cash offer. We can move quickly, so we're going to be a favorable option for the seller. So we make that offer, the offer gets accepted. So now we have a bona fide contract between Homeward and the Joneses, the seller of the home that your clients, the Smiths, want to own. So at this point, we're going to have your clients put up earnest money. They're going to sign the customer purchase contract. This is the contract that secures their interest. They're going to order an appraisal, order an inspection. We're going to order the appraisal, and we're going to do all this right up front. Once the offer is accepted, your clients are going to sign a Homeward service agreement. This details all the moving parts of what we do as a company and make sure that everybody's on the same page. This is where we also sign a representation agreement with you, and we work through all the different moving parts of our relationship with you, our relationship with the clients, and we get your DA for commission. All those sorts of things are done at this point in time. The client purchase contract is going to mirror the Homeward purchase contract. It's on your standard state forms, whether it's Georgia, Colorado, or Texas. Whatever your standard forms are, that's what we use. So that Homeward purchase contract, we then mirror that with the customer purchase contract with a couple of changes. Homeward becomes the seller, your clients become the buyers. The closing date is moved out 6 months on buy before you sell or 30 days on buy with cash. From the day we buy until your clients buy back is the period of time that's going to take for them to clear all those hurdles they need to clear in order to complete the transaction. The price is increased by that convenience fee. So 1.9% in Texas and Colorado, 2.4% in Georgia. Your clients put up 2% earnest money with buy before you sell, 3% earnest money with buy with cash. But at this point, they have a bona fide contract. They put up real earnest money, and we have a secured home for the interest of your clients. We're going to go ahead and do earnest money. And in Texas, we have our option fee. You're going to pay those up front. Your clients are going to order an inspection, pay for an inspection just like normal. Your client calls all the shots here on both what we're paying for the new home and also on any items on the inspection report, any credits, reductions in price or required repairs. Your clients bring that to us. We work with you to negotiate with the underlying seller to make sure that everything is set up and secured for your client's interest. So now we're past the inspection period, the due diligence or option period. We're going to close on the home and your clients are going to get to move right in. When they move into the new home, they get to move in and live in it like they own it, which means a couple of things. One, they're responsible for repairs. We also order the home warranty in their name. So if anything comes up, they can use that home warranty or home residential service contract. They can do a light remodel on the new home. If they want to change the carpet, if they want to add wood flooring, if they want to replace the countertops or repaint the house, they can do that. It's our home, but they get to do those things on our timeline, on their dime, to make it uniquely theirs. We close on the home, and this is an important thing for you to know. You're going to get the keys from the listing agent. You're going to be the one that gets those to your clients. You guys won't go to the closing. We're going to do it all online, and we're going to get your client set for being able to move in, but you're going to be wanting to deliver those keys. This is a mountaintop experience for the clients. This is when they're moving into their dream home. Bring them the keys, bring them that bottle of champagne, that closing gift, let them celebrate, remind them that you're never too busy for their referrals. This is a great moment and a great opportunity for you to serve your clients in that way. At this point, your client's rent clock starts ticking. So from here until the day they buy back, the rental rate starts to accumulate. The rent is always paid at the end of the process, so it's deferred till the end. It's only our cost of ownership passed through to the clients, and it's only prorated for the number of days that we own the home. Now, if it's buy before you sell, this is where you're going to list and sell your client's existing home. It may sell right away. It may take 2 or 3 months, but you're going to do what you normally do. We have very little to do with that transaction. You're just going to help them go get top dollar for that home. At the 90-day mark of us owning a new home, if they haven't sold the existing home, if it's not under contract, we're going to ask them to reduce their price down to the originally established fair market value. So when we did our due diligence in our application, we established a fair market value. Off of that, we set the floor price, which is the lower number. But that fair market value, this is a really helpful nudge for you guys to help the clients get on the same page about pricing that home where it's going to sell. Because if it hasn't sold at this point, it's probably overpriced. And so we're going to work with you to get them priced right. 99 times out of 100, if we get to that stage, the home sold right away because it was always a pricing issue. So your client's old home is sold, contract, inspections, you're going to the closing table there. Your clients are going to finalize their mortgage, whether they use Homeward Mortgage or an outside lender. They can use whoever they want. They do get the discount and the convenience fee when they use Homeward Mortgage. You're going to work with them to get that old home closed if they have a home to sell, or we're just going to finalize the mortgage and get them to the closing table on the new home. So we close. It's the end of the process. We celebrate. If you think about it, though, it's anticlimactic for your client. They've already been living in the home. They love the home. They've begun to grow roots in the home. So this picture here is representative of us and you guys. This is us and you, save and except for the lack of social distancing. We're celebrating the fact that we've just helped another client accomplish their dreams of homeownership. We also celebrate the fact, secondarily, but almost as important, is this is when we both get paid. That's when you get paid your commission. If it's buy with cash, so it's a purchase only, you get paid your full commission at the day that your clients close on ownership of their dream home. This is also when you would get paid on the sale of the listing if you've listed their old home, if they're a buy before you sell. This is also when we earn our fee and collect the rent. So we're both happy to get to the finish line, both financially and philosophically, because we've just served another client together. So that's a lot of words. I'm 36 minutes into the time you've given me. We have a little bit more to cover, but I want to pause here because this is where most of the questions have happened, is the actual process itself. So while I get started, I'm going to read through these questions, and I'm going to have you guys do a quick poll while I kind of catch my bearings on the questions. So I'm going to launch this. This is a poll specifically to help us know how, where, when, what to do as a follow-up for you. So that is there. I'm going to stop sharing for a second. Move the poll over. I'm going to pull up all of your questions in the chat. It looks like got quite a few questions in the chat. So I'm going to run through the chat first, but then I'm going to go back to the Q&A, which is where most of the questions sit. What are the interest rates with Homeward? The Homeward certificate, or the interest rates, we have a market value, or I'm sorry, a price match guarantee. Sorry, our price match guarantee means that we're going to meet or beat any mortgage interest rates you see in the marketplace. So they're competitive. I think that's the short answer. So their credit's not affected by doing the application with us. Once they're approved, we will go buy a home for them. When they go to finalize their mortgage, we do a full hard pull on their credit before we finalize their mortgage. That's pretty typical. And at that point, it would potentially impact their credit, but they're generally not going to find themselves in that spot. So how long does the approval period last? We approve clients for 90 days. So once they're approved, they're good for 90 days. If you need to renew that approval, it's super simple. We just get a couple more documents. We go from there. Good question here from Charlie. Charlie's a great agent. I've known Charlie for a long time. Is there any way to waive the option period on the purchase as well, or the inspection period? Unfortunately, we're not able to do that. Now, if a client is completely appraisal waived, we can do that. But it's a small percentage of the time that we can do that. We just need to know the client has plenty of cash in the bank and is willing to take some risk off of the plate. So if you get that situation where you absolutely need to waive that inspection or that option period, have a conversation with your customer experience manager. We'll answer that. Does Homeward pay for the appraisal? Yes, we pay for the appraisals up front. Your clients do reimburse for the appraisal at closing. We charge about $600, $650, I think, for an appraisal. When we get to the closing table, they pay for that just like they normally would. Any issues with homes that are selling for 50 or 100 over asking price? No, we're not having issues there because we've vetted the process early on. We're able to make offers at whatever aggressive price you feel like we need to in order to secure the home. So we'll get that new home secured at whatever price. We're going to do some due diligence internally and make sure that we're not, if we're offering a really, really high price, we're going to make sure the client can cover that purchase price, and that's just part of the approval process. So what is the interest rate to determine rent? Rent, it varies by price range, but when you go to get a quote for your clients and you get your clients started with us, we're going to give them the rental rate right up front. Typically, it's roughly in line with if they were putting 5 or 10% down on the new home purchase in that mortgage range. 0.07 is a good factor to use, and that usually gets you pretty close. So, all right. So, all right, I'm going to jump over to the Q&A and answer those questions there. So, how many homes has Homeward bought for buyers since its inception? Gosh, I think we're probably in the mid 500s, high 400s. So we've done quite a few of these. How long does an approval last? Up to 90 days. Does Homeward own the new home until it is closed? Yes, until they buy back from us, we own the home, and that's how that works. Who backs Homeward Title? Homeward Title is a standalone insurance agency. We have multiple underwriters that we're writing on, and so we're a typical title company there. Will you receive a copy of this presentation? Yes, we provide you guys a copy of this. And I know I cover a lot of stuff really quickly. So we're going to send you a lot of follow-up. We're going to have a number of conversations with you to serve you beyond here. So hopefully we'll get you all your questions answered. Can you go over the rent again? So from the day we buy a home until the day a client buys back from us, there's a rental period. They don't pay that rent until the end of the process. So we recognize they're making a mortgage payment if they currently own a home and they're paying rent on another house. So they don't pay any rent to us until the end of the process. That's when we square up everything at the closing table. If we can sell their old home before closing on the new home, can we move from the buy before you sell to buy with cash? Once we start down the process of buy before you sell, that you're kind of locked into that program because until it's closing contingent. Now, if we get the old home sold before we take ownership of the new home, we can maybe work with you on that to let your client step into our place and buy directly and save them some money. So I think that's probably a question about saving them money. We're always looking for the lowest cost option to the consumer if we can. So, good question here from Michael. I think this is probably like the question behind the question. So you're asking, why is the buy only beneficial to Homeward? It seems like too good a deal to be true. And that was my first thought when we first established the pricing. We are the title company on about 95% of the transactions we do. We also provide the mortgages. We make a reasonable profit in the mortgage business. We're super competitive, and we're actually guaranteed to be competitive in the mortgage business. Because of the way our mortgage company and our title company are structured, because it's all captive business, we make enough money to be able to offer this service on buy with cash at no cost to the customer. So who pays the mortgage on the current home? Your clients will keep making their mortgage payment while they own it. The floor price guarantee is a great question. That's that worst case scenario insurance. If their current home hasn't sold at the end of 6 months, we will buy it from them. It's typically 7 to 10% below fair market value. The fair market value is what we establish using your CMA and our internal valuation. And it's there as that guarantee. Most of your clients, they're confident their current home's going to sold, but they need they need to know what happens if the worst case scenario comes about. So um, that's how that works. What is the selling timeline for the current home before you would buy at a discount? It's 6 months. Any qualifications? So as long as they qualify for a mortgage, they're good to go. And so you can go ahead and have them apply, Audra. So that's how that works. So we're providing traditional mortgages, conventional, VA, conventional, and jumbo loans are available through our mortgage company. And so as long as they can qualify for a mortgage, they should be in good shape. Do you have any collateral or literature? Yes, that's all coming your way after this call. So we're going to get you information. There's some Canva packages that you can customize and put into your listing presentation that we're going to be sharing down the road. So watch your email from an email from us that has information and some follow-up. Does the seller of the new home know that you're the buyer? Yeah, the contract is in our name, so we're making an offer as the purchaser. Is there any additional fee for purchases under 300,000? There is a small fee in Georgia for purchases under 300,000, but really it's 200,000 to 3 million, and your customer experience manager will give you all the specific pricings based on anything below that 300 mark in Georgia. Homeward Mortgages, the question is, do you guys service your loans? Yes, we service all of our loans. All right, so we sell all of our loans. We don't service loans. We're a mortgage bank. We originate the loan and then we sell it off. Yes, question, have you worked with Cooper Sotheby's? Yes, we certainly have. Yeah, we become your client through a limited services buyer's rep agreement. We can walk through that Aaron offline, but that's a great question. Yeah, you guys will make an offer on our behalf. We're the buyer, you're the agent. We established a limited services buyer's rep agreement where you represent us on the acquisition, but you always represent your clients in the background when they buy back from us. So what if the home doesn't sell after 6 months? We'll buy it at the floor price that we've established. Is the 2% earnest money required, or just as an example? No, we require on buy before you sell, it's a 2% earnest money. On buy with cash, it's a 3% earnest money requirement. And that is paid up front when your clients go under contract to buy the home back from us. Will they be paying rent on the new home and the mortgage until it sells? The rent accumulates, Katie, but it gets paid at the end of the process. So they're not making double payments, but it does add to the closing costs, and they pay it through the closing of the sale of their current home or the purchase of the new home at the end of the process. Is there rent for the cash buy only? Yes, they still pay rent, but it's a very, very small number of days between when we acquire the home and when they buy back from us. Do you have to wait to get certified? David's asking. No, you can use this today, and you're actually certified by being here. So you're good in both directions there. Let's see. Let me see. There's a bunch of questions here. I want to make sure and honor our time. Do you have to use Homeward title on buy before you sell? We are going to negotiate for and use Homeward title on the acquisition. So when we acquire the home, when we sell it back to your clients, if they want to use Homeward title on that third transaction, they're welcome to do that as well. We would encourage that. We'd love that, and it actually makes the process simpler for them. But yes, the title on their resale home is technically optional, but we're going to ask them if they wouldn't mind using our title company. It does make things super easy at the end. All right. What are the closing costs for a Homeward loan? We don't charge an origination fee. The typical closing costs you would experience with any lender are what we have. Is the home warranty included? Yes. If we negotiate for a home warranty to buy, when we buy the home for your client's going to receive the benefit of that home warranty from the day that they move in, i.e. our closing, all the way until the end of that first year, or 2 years if it's a 2-year warranty. Have you had agents run Homeward ads on social media? Yes. We have all kinds of tools and resources we're going to share with you after this to get you going. What does an appraisal usually cost? About $600, $650 is my understanding on the appraisal cost. I think it varies depending on a couple of different factors, but that's typically what it costs. We do work with VA lenders or with VA borrowers. Conventional, we can't work with FHA because FHA has an anti-flipper rule, meaning that if we buy a home, they can't buy it back from us for any period less than 90 days. And so that disqualifies our ability to help them the way that we do. So there's only one appraisal, not two. So the question there is, is there a second appraisal? What's the cost? There's only one appraisal, and it gets done during our option period for your clients on their contract to purchase a home back from us. Yeah, we have a lot of information on our website. We have a whole team that's here to answer your questions. Based on the survey results of the survey you filled out, we're going to have somebody follow up with you. We also have an inbound, and I'm going to give you some contact info for getting more of your information going. Let's see. Yes, we use our title company when we buy and when they buy back from us. Let's see, I think some of these I've answered, and they're duplicate questions, so I'm making sure I don't miss something. So Mike's got a great question. What about duplicate title costs, filing fees, et cetera? So there's two transactions. We cover the cost when your clients are using Homeward Mortgage. We cover the cost. Homeward Title. We cover the cost of all the closing costs when we acquire the home, and then whatever normal closing costs would be when your clients buy back from us, they pay. And so that's how we cover the title policy because we own the title insurance company. So we make enough money there to cover those redundant costs. So the net result is there's no redundant costs that are passed through to your clients at all. Commission is earned when we buy the home, but it's paid to you when your clients buy it back. Carrie, that's a great way to say that. Yes. So Homeward is a buyer. Yeah, we are the buyer. I'm kind of rolling through these one by one, making sure I catch. So yeah, on the acquisition, Homeward is the buyer. Your clients are the buyer when they buy back from us. What are the source of costs for rental rates? We use our cost of funds as a basis for the rental rates. And so we share that with you up front, exactly what the costs are going to be. So what is the buyer name? It's Homeward. And that's what gets written into the contract. All right. So I think we got to have the rest of these questions. I think I covered, so some of these came in and then I answered afterwards. So the agent always writes the offer, Crystal. So when we go to make an offer for your clients, we're going to sign the offer. We're the buyer. You're the agent presenting it to the listing agent. Once that's agreed to and accepted, then we're going to sign a contract that you're going to write between us and your clients. So the goal here is for you to do what you normally do, and then you submit, negotiate a contract. You're working for your clients. We're just there as kind of a middle person to step into the gap and buy the home with our cash up front. So is the rent negotiable? No, we don't make any money on the rent, Travis. That's a great question. We just pass through our cost of owning the home as part of the process. I got a question. What brokerages do you partner with? We've set up some strategic partnerships to help drive some marketing materials with different brokerages, but really for the most part, we're kind of an open source. You know, any agent that wants to use Homeward can use Homeward, and we're happy to work with each and every one of you. So I think that's all the questions that I can see here. I'm going to jump back to our, let me see, there's a couple more questions. Yeah, so John Dunham asked a good question. Does the appraiser visit the property? It's like a normal appraiser. So they're going to go to the property, they're going to visit it. We're going to turn those around. Right now we're averaging 3.6 days on the appraisal. So typically our appraisers are going out at the same time as your inspector. They're doing their field work. They're generating and delivering to us an appraisal within 5 days. All right. Let me go back to share screen. I'm going to give us the next steps, and I'll stick around and answer questions for a bit. I want to make sure that I get all your questions answered before we go. All right, next step, join our Facebook group. This is a great place and a resource for good information about who we are, what we do. It will help you stay informed, keep you up to date on what's going on with Homeward. Also, just a great place to get to connect with other agents as well. So you can go to Facebook, search Homeward Certified Agent Group. It's a great place for resources. You're going to get an email after this training that has a link to this page, which is homeward.com/marketing/agents. That site is where we host all of our marketing materials. So you're going to have the agent one pager for buy with cash, buy before you sell, all the social assets. You're going to get access to everything that you need to help your clients engage with us. There's some sample scripts and dialogues in there as well. And then the Homeward quote tool. This is a opportunity that we have to help you introduce Homeward to your clients. I'm going to demo that before we go, and that's going to be where our end our time together. Before I do though, hello@homeward.com. If I didn't answer your question today, send an email there. Our team will follow up with you and get all your questions answered. We also have a hotline. The follow-up email to this is going to have a direct number to our agent advisors. They're there to help you. They're also going to reach out to you after this call, make sure you have all your questions answered, get you squared away. And so let me demo the quote tool. This is a great way for us to end our time together, and it might help you quite a bit. So we have our website, which has quite a bit of information for you and your clients. There's information on how it works. You've got pricing. There's the For Agents tab under there if you get a client started. So when you go to Get Started, you're going to either get them started ASAP or you're going to share a personalized quote. The personalized quote is the best way to get your client started with Homeward, because what this does is it generates for them exact pricing on their scenario and gives them what they need to get started. So you can tell us a little bit about your client situation. Let's say they're, so for today, we're going to pick that they're looking for their dream home. So you're going to give us a little bit of information. So you put in your info, click here, you can put in your brokerage, you're going to click next. The home that they're selling, you put that in. Click next. If they're selling a home, if they don't have a home to sell, you would click on my clients don't have a home to sell. And that would take you through the buy with cash pricing and product. What city they're looking to buy in. Let's say they're looking to buy in Denver. Click next, click next. Your pricing, let's say your clients are going to be buying a home from, say, let's just say 500,000, just to keep the math easy. Get clients pricing. This is going to generate a quote for you. It'll have your brokerage logo in here if we have you in our system, and most of the brokerages we have, and we're continuing to add as often as we see them, logos, so that you have a specific, very personalized quote that's coming from you to your client. So this is a picture of the email that's going to go to your clients. It's going to have a spot for you to customize and drop in information to your clients. It's going to have information about why Homeward, what are the things that we do and the value that we offer. It's then going to walk your clients through the 6-step process. This email is going to your clients, so they're going to have a good onboarding experience. It's going to have very clear and distinct steps and value in the process, and then it's going to give them their pricing. So it's going to give them a price breakdown based on their purchase price. So it's going to have convenience fee, it's going to have the rent, it's going to have all the information that they need about deposits in order to feel comfortable moving forward. When you send this to your client, they're going to have a button at the bottom that says Get Started, and they're going to be able to fill out an application from there. So you want to share this with your clients, and you can put in their name, and we're going to put in, let's put in Tom Jones at jones.com. You put in a phone number and comments if you want to leave some comments for our team. You hit confirm. When you hit confirm here, it's going to send an email to Tom at Tom Jones. It's going to come from our system, but it's going to look and feel like you, because it's going to have your information. It's going to have a personalized spot from you. It's going to have pricing. It's going to have information. It's going to have a link to start the application. When you click confirm, that goes through. I'm not going to do that because I don't want Tom to get an email. I don't need to get a call from Tom today. But that is the best way to get a client started. Gives them all the information in one place, gives them the link to the application. They can get started and be through the application 20 or 30 minutes later and off and on their way to get that approval. So that's how the quote tool works. Our team is here to help you. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for being here. We're right at the end of our time. I'm gonna wrap this up and send you on your way. I'll stick around for a few minutes to answer questions, but I'm so thankful that you are here. I love what we get to do. As real estate agents, we get to help people oftentimes with their biggest asset at their biggest moment of need. No one ever moves for fun. It's always a process. There's a lot involved. they need an advisor, a coach, an educator, a counselor in their corner, supporting and helping them through the process. What you do is a noble endeavor. I'm thankful for you. I'm thankful for this business. It's been good to me throughout my career. I'm excited to be in the trenches with you, helping you help your clients buy before they sell or buy with cash the Homeward way. So thank you guys for being here. Take care. God bless and have a great day.